Good morning. Hi, everyone. It's the last Friday before the... Nope. Wait, there's another Friday before the new year. Wait a second. We got another Friday yet. Is there a ripple? Or is that just a weird shadow? We got tiny corner ripples. I'll have to fix that. But it's a really, really good stretched canvas today. I have to fix the corners, but the center is really good. Isn't that nice? I accidentally touched it the first time, and I was like, what is that noise outside? Is a neighbor taking a trash can out? Morning, everyone. It is a drum. It's the doom chime. Painting canceled, let's drum instead. You'll quickly find out I don't know what I'm doing. I'm painting a picture of Mount Fuji today. I took about 1 million photos of Mount Fuji in Japan because it was the first time I had actually seen it and it wasn't covered in a ton of cloud cover. So I actually have 2 photos I've been kind of going back and forth between, and they're in the art queue, so I'll show you them in a minute. But I'm already kind of leaning towards one of them, so curious what you guys think. We have 3 resubs this morning already. We have 3 months from 63 Fills, 32 months from Lunar Pearl, 31 from Jet Jet, and 32 from Furious Kitty. Thank you for the resubs. And here, these are the 2. So these are the 2 I'm looking at that I took. There's things I like about both, but I am leaning towards one versus the other. So we have A, and then we have B. Colors of the second, shape of one, vote B, B. Do you want us to poll it? Colors and B, both are pretty. You can put it back up longer. We can. There's things I like about both. I think I like the light in the second one better. And I like the clouds in the second one a lot better. But the first one, you can see the snow on the mountaintop. So, like, I think Furious Kitty's right. That's kind of what I was thinking, was combining them in some way. I just spilled water on the floor. So I think that's kind of the plan. I don't love the water in either one of them because it's just tiny, tiny waves at a distance, and it's just like radio or TV static. Like, that's how that part looks. There's not much to the waves in the water. So I might kind of like do the water in a different way. We can make up our own water. Yep. It truly is snowing on Mount Fuji. Huge for the haiku lovers. Enjoyers. We have a 31-month resub from Cabry29. Good morning. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to give myself a little bit of a grid. Why didn't this get organized the way I want it to? Just break it up into 16 slices. And we're gonna do a little bit of an underpainting, just so I kind of know where things are going, which I'm gonna have to regrid and redraw, aren't I? Yeah. Even hitting the easel is making the canvas like echo. So we're gonna do that. How do I want to do that? Do I want to do that in chalk? I think I want to do that in chalk. So we're gonna put this back up in the art queue because I see it's there. Oh, the mouse stopped moving, so I can't click the small button. So I like the clouds in this one a lot better, like B here, and then this one. And I like how luminescent it is because the sun was setting, because it was later in the day when I took this. So I like things about this one better, but on this one, I like how you can see the snow on the mountain. But I think, I don't know, I thought maybe I liked the colors better on A, but I think I might like them better in B. So maybe I will just do B. But we're gonna take liberties because I'm not trying to do a photo perfect painting. Forest Hills better in B? Yeah. There's that too. Just add the snow. I'm thinking that. Because that just kind of makes it slightly more complete. This isn't the ruler I want. This is my center finding ruler. We'll just flip it. The mountain is more centered in B. It's lowered. It's a bit higher in A, but it's centered left to right. The way I had to combine that in Photoshop, I just took a screenshot of my desktop and it wasn't quite perfect, but they're similar in layout. Most people are picking B. Look at this, 10-0. Wild. All right, 24 and a half is 12. And then half of 12 is 6. And let's see, 12, 6, 7, 18. Why does this canvas feel so off? I thought about using one of my canvases I've already color washed, because I have one in burnt umber and I have one in purple. But I think I need to do burnt sienna to make this painting glow, so we're gonna do burnt sienna. Give B some of A's snow and it's perfect. Yeah. The little island in front of A. The island has a name. There was a sign up about it when I was on Enoshima, but I don't remember what it was called. Someone could probably look it up. It looked kind of like a shark fin. This is why I want my 18 ruler. It's easier. Cooperate. The side I want to be regular ruler is not. Okay, all of you who voted picked B. Okay. 9. So then we have 4.5. And then 1, 2, 3, 4.5. I want you all to know that I showed both photos to Steven last night, and he's like, well, definitely A. No contest. So, I look forward to him seeing that I'm painting B. Oh, I meant to fix the corners. I can still do that. There's my 16 square grid. You're picking between two pretty things. That canvas sounds aggressive. It's so aggressive today. All right, I need to sharpen this a little bit. Get a couple pencil shavings on my palette. And then we're just gonna do a light sketch, just so I have a good idea of where things go. And then we're gonna do a little bit of an underpainting, and then that'll get done today for sure. And then I would love to get to the sky itself painted. But we're gonna start with an underpainting. All right, so my horizon line is essentially this line right here, this bottom third. This is all water. So that's all gonna get made up. But we get a little bit of this bank. Ooh, that sounds aggressive to even just draw on. And it kind of fades out here. This is less important, to be honest. It's so vibes based on this painting. Like, I think I went way too far low here. And then there's like this, and then this. Which means this probably needs to come up a little bit more. Although it was kind of here in the middle. This one kind of runs into this one here. I put that almost exactly here. I'm not happy with this line. That's okay. Okay, now we can underpaint. But I need to erase some of this grid or it's going to be permanently there. So I'm going to start with trying to hunt down an eraser. Found one. And I'm going to leave this line because this line is my water, is the bank. Okay. General layout. Trying to get rid of all the eraser dust. Trying to find more info on the island. Where did you take this picture? Yeah, Chaz was with me. He says on the bridge to Enoshima. It has a name. Let me go look. Enoshima. There it is. So if it's there. Iboshi Iwa? Ubajima? Yes. That is it. It looks a bit like a shark fin. All right, Burnt Sienna, open, please. There's a bunch of dried paint on this, so sometimes it's best if I just peel it off so I can close the tube properly. And sometimes you just can't get it at all, which seems to be the case today. And then when that happens, you just hope that you're almost out of this paint soon and you don't have to worry about it. Vagabond. Oh, that rock is massive. Isn't it huge? Huge rock. Alright, I'm going to use gloss glazing liquid. For a lot of this. And I want soft brush. I know exactly what I want, but I wasn't going to find it quick. And I need water conditioner. 48 feet? Oh my god. I didn't get up close to it. So this is water conditioner. It has a name, but as you can see, my label has like been destroyed. And they changed the name of it. I forget what it is. If I go look at the list of like golden stuff, I'll figure it out, but you add a couple drops to your water and it kind of changes the surface tension and it helps things flow a little bit better. You don't mix it into your paint, it gets mixed into the water. 7.4 Stevens tall. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of my sienna into the glazing liquid. So this is just going to be a very rough, quick underpainting. Just use Tresemme. And I feel like I don't have enough glazing liquid on my palette. We have a 16-month resub from Suraj. Good morning. I'm not clicked on the right window. There we go. Now I am. Okay, so I'm gonna start by painting in some of the darker spaces. And I'm probably gonna have to re-layer those to make them even darker, because this is super light. And then all of these get a little bit lighter, going back in space because we have atmospheric perspective going on. So then we have like this one. And this will all get adjusted. And then we have this guy over here. starting to come together with the underpainting. Hootenanny over. I want a bigger brush, I think, for the rest of this. Yeah, I need a bigger brush to do the sky and the water. Bigger brush. Which one? This one. Can't have any eraser shavings. I got paint on my face. Shoot. What I should do is I should lay all this down and then use a paper towel to pull it up, is what I should be doing. So I think I might put a little bit more down and then pull some of it up. And hopefully not get any more on my hair or my face. Because what we have is we have these clouds that come up through here. And I'm not doing a great job of pulling this because it dried real quick because it's acrylic. That's fine. We'll just not. When I do the actual painting, it will come together better. But this is just giving us some idea of where things are and some of the value. And I know it looks a little bit like I've lost mountain, but that's fine. It will come back. Try not to hit the mic because it's right underneath my paintbrush here. And then we'll block in the water, and then I think I might do a few more layers down here. Paint the mic. I think there's already paint on it. Okay, there's a good base layer. Now, I'm gonna add in a little bit more. Maybe get some of the paint off my hand. Because I've lost some of this in here. And because it's wet, every time I touch up here, my brush picks up some of this, so it actually lightens it up, and it ends up looking like the snow, which works out really, really nicely. Let's see. This one. There's our underpainting. think I could probably put just a touch right there. Because I think I forgot it. Yeah, that works better. Let's check this side. Also fixed. So that's our base layer. Now I'm going to wash off my palette and get everything set, and then we'll start doing the sky. Meanwhile, we had a 9-month resub from Asphodelix, 33 months from Luna Geezer, and 300 bits from Furious Kitty, who says, I just finished cooking a pot of Japanese curry and started wondering what I'll watch while I eat when your stream popped up. Talk about timing. Need to get back to studying now. See ya. Good luck studying. Yamadorgon says this is cool on its own, actually. I mean, there's some good quality to it when you do something loose like this. If I had gone and done, I think, a bit more variation in some of these little ranges of mountains, which is funny because it's next to, like, the mountain, I think it would look better. And if I was able to bring in the clouds a little bit better, it would be neat. But it is a very rough layer. The problem with using Giant Brush is Giant Brush holds a lot of paint and makes my paint water dirty much faster. Big brush. This isn't even the biggest one in my grouping of brushes. I don't ever use the big one. Like the biggest one I have not had a use for it. So it just kind of lives over there and does nothing. Yet. Apparently I just need to paint bigger paintings. Alright. That's now palette. Also, look at the purple. Ooh, you can really see the metallic. See how it's metallic from last week? That's how the rest of that bike flap looks, that you couldn't quite see on the stream last week. It's very shiny. Anyway, let's cover this purple with burnt sienna. And then we'll clean off the palette while we wait for the underpainting to dry, or at least get slightly more dry. I just need, like, this up to dry. This down can stay wet. We're not working on that. We're working on that sky first. We have a 33-month resub from Dishnet. Good morning. Paint bigger paintings. Walls are pretty big paintings. So I had wanted to paint my office and do my office first, but my thought of like how I want to do a room is most, like the plan I have is most complete for the foyer. And that's also like my least favorite part of the house is the foyer. It is a long hallway with like no light and nothing of note. So all I have to really do is decide on a color, and then I can get started on it. But that's not happening until the new year. What's stopping me from putting lights on in there and hanging art on the wall? That's exactly the plan. It's going to be a gallery wall, but I want to paint first. And it's not that much to paint. We have a 4-month resub from Dragonstorm. Good morning. Welcome in to Mount Fuji painting stream. Can I touch any of this yet? I can touch here. All right. I didn't paint the bottom where it's sitting on my easel right now. We'll get there. A MalMakes gallery? No. In fact, I'd rather none of my stuff be on that wall. Local art maybe, or other neat things I pick up. I don't know. I don't need my stuff up in the house. It can go to other places for other people to enjoy. I was tempted by the pun. Okay, fair. Okay, now, as you all know, I am very guilty all the time of going way too saturated in all my colors. So, I'm gonna try and keep this as close as I can, and it's still gonna end up saturated, as we all know. Now I just have to decide what colors I want. You're not warm enough. You might be too warm. Hansa? We have a 29-month resub from Kita. Good morning. You're just in time to start true color painting instead of, underpainting. What else do I have? God, that's so saturated. We don't want to do that. Bismuth, I think, is way too cool of a yellow. I think we want a warmer yellow. Because it's kind of like yellow and blue, the whole piece. There's a little bit of green in this on the photo I took and how I color balanced it. So it's going to get green. But whatever yellow I go with, I just need to make sure when I mix it with green, we get a pretty green and not a gross color. But it's quite warm of a yellow, and like we start to get into some peachy colors down here in these clouds that sit this way, and it's a bit more yellow down in like the valley between these two in this area. And then it almost gets a bit violet up here with these clouds. We need to do some tests. That needs to dry anyway. So we're gonna do some tests. I need some purples, not purples, blues. What's in Prussian? Phthalo. Phthalo. What's in paints? Ultramarine. You might be the blue to go with is Payne's Gray, which is ultramarine and black. I have so many phalos. Cobalt. Part of me wants to use cobalt. Just threw Yinmin blue across the room. Yeet. I don't know, I'm not feeling phthalo today. It's fine, who needs it? Me. I love that blue. Alright. This is wet, so I cannot put this here. So I'm going to start by having it in my lap. And then I'm probably going to slide this. Or set it over there. We're just going to test until I'm happy with whatever this ends up being. Now ideally, I would have burnt sienna on this and test on top of it. But I didn't think that far ahead. Do I have Cad Hue? I thought I had Cad Yellow Hue. Did I use it all up at some point? Yeah, we do have lyrics. Unfortunately. We're just going to put a bunch of stuff on the palette, maybe alphabetically, so I can not forget what is what. So we have bismuth, the one I cannot pronounce, Diarylide, I don't know, Diarylide. I don't think I've ever heard it pronounced before. And we're gonna do Fancy Yellow medium first. And this is a open, so it's going to stay, it's a lot thinner than, the white tubes are a lot thicker than the black tubes, because these are open, golden open, so it's a bit thinner. It also stays wet longer, which is nice. But I tend to find that they are a lot more transparent. And then I have 3 blues, because we're trying to get a nice harmonious gradient between the two with a pretty green. Cobalt, Payne's Gray. Canvas is way too big for Yinmin blue with how much blue is in this. And ultramarine. I may tone these down because otherwise it would be super saturated, but I want to see what blends nice with each other. Are you dry enough to touch? Yeah. We're just gonna set that down over there. So I'm starting with bismuth. And I'm going to start by doing an optical mix where I put them next to each other. And then I will do a wet and wet mix to see truly how they blend. You moved a mountain. Radio Dread, here on MalMakes, we make the impossible possible, moving mountains easy. Alright, so this will be Cobalt's. And then this is... No, I gotta paint on these leggings. That's fine. These don't really fit me anymore. So this has black in it, which is why it looks grayer when I mix the white into it. And then we have ultramarine. All right. I'm kind of leaning towards this row of yellows. And Cobalt is feeling really good. I do think I need to neutralize them a little bit because I think they're too saturated. And Cobalt's with white, I think is fine. But ultramarine's not bad either. They're not really making a green because they're closer in complementary than they are in analogous. So like yellow and blue are primaries, right? So they should be making their secondary between them. But because this is more orange, and then this is kind of getting closer to violet, it's getting more of a complementary neutralizing between them and not a green. What do I want to do? I do think this one is not right. That was the bismuth. Like, it's way too yellow. It needs to be warmer, and this is too cool of a yellow. These ones are warmer, especially this one, which was Hansa Opaque. The Hansa Medium is cooler. So, like, between the two, it's kind of this one. So we have those. And what I like about these two columns, which is the Payne's Gray and the Ultramarine, is this is just Ultramarine with black. Which makes it a lot easier to do my shading, because I can just use this for things, and then when I want it to be darker, I can just switch to this. And I was not feeling phthalo today, so I don't really want to go with phthalo. That's why there's no phthalo on this. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to mix these wet and wet and see how I feel about that. I have plenty of ultramarine. I need some more. What ones did I get rid of? The open ones. So these are my yellows and these are my blues. I need to do that again, but with more white paint. See, I always get paint on me, but when it's when I'm trying to close a paint cap, it's never like when I'm sticking my hand in wet paint. That's not really a green I was hoping for. It's just gray. And like, I can force a green by mixing a green and putting it there. All right, let's try this one. And cobalt might give me a better green with the yellow. There's a green. Now let's try it with some white. That is more green than this is. This is way more gray. how do I feel about that compared to the painting or the photo? I do think I need to neutralize it a little bit. I think it's too saturated. The blue also needs to be neutralized. So what we're going to do next is that I have the colors decided. We're going to neutralize them a little bit. We'll see how that feels. That's sienna, not ultramarine. And let's see, we need to neutralize blue with orange. Do I have the right color? We're gonna use sienna because I have it. And then opposite of yellow is purple. And this is a slightly warm. So Doxine should work fine. Okay. We're gonna try this. Color theory, so fun. So toning down the blue went pretty good. And that actually works really nice for like some of the darker blues. I think that's spot on. So I'm very happy with the ultramarine. And if I lighten that, that still looks really nice. However, the yellow wasn't quite the same story. I think I just added maybe too much of the blue because that's it toned down. And then this is it with more whites. But I think that's gonna be fine. So I just want to do a quick mix of those and see if that still gives a decent green. Okay. The parts that are warmer in the painting, like I said, there was some peachy parts that were like over here in the sky. I can always add a little bit of a peach wash on top to warm that up. But I think this is a good base for my colors. So we can like start doing something. And let me mark this. This is ultramarine and sienna. And then this is fancy yellow opaque and dioxazine purple. Okay. Back to painting. The sky is dry enough for me to start painting, so that's good. So my goal is to do a gradient from like here up and then put the clouds on top after. That's the plan. So I'm gonna find my little hand towel that I've put behind me, mix up the colors I need for that gradient, and then we will paint those. Kit Collide says, just got here. That's amazing already. Thank you. We roughed in with an underpainting what the plan is. And then I tested a bunch of colors. Do I feel like taking a risk and experimenting today? And going with zinc white over titanium. Zinc is transparent, so it'll let some of the underpainting show through with some of that warm color better than the titanium white would. I also need slow dry. See, whenever I use zinc though, I regret it. That's the problem. No, which one? Zinc is transparent, titanium is not. I normally use titanium, but it's acrylic, so I can always repaint it. That is the gorgeous thing about it. Thanks for the poll. I'll start mixing up my other colors. Take a risk, Mal. It won't be bad. It'll be fine. Where did I put purple? That's blue. There it is. Okay. Zinc. All right, we'll take a risk. You never know unless you try. True, Radio Dread. That's so true. Okay, I've killed a little bit of the yellow's not transparency, vibrancy with the violet. I think I may have killed it just a smidge too much. Just a smidge, just a little bit. A little bit more yellow. I just need it to be slightly less aggressive. Slightly less high-vis yellow. It's been a while since I've painted a bigger canvas, because I've been doing all those 11, 14s, and 8x10s. I'm like, do I have enough paint mixed up? I don't know. Kind of worried. Okay, we're gonna mix up blue. Zinc. 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 And what was I toning that down with? Sienna. Right after stream, I'm taking my polish off and filing my nails down. Right after stream. You said that Wednesday. I know. Today, though. I just put way too much blue on my palette. For reals. All right, we have colors mixed. All right, let's try this. We're gonna start with zinc white. And just kind of brush that up. And then regret a ponytail. Switch it to a bun. All right, so now we're going into the yellow. Got a loose bristle. Guess who's back? So that's into the yellow. Then we're gonna pick up maybe a bit more of this. I'm picking up more white here because I think I have too much blue in the light blue that I mixed. So I want it to lighten up a little bit when I put it down here. See how dark that is? I think that was a mistake. This brush is like shedding bristles all over the place. The hiccups. Dang it. Okay, now I can paint up here. All right, how do we feel about those colors? I think this needs to lighten up down here. And I need a clean brush for that that's not tinged with blue. Preferably something softer. Maybe this guy. That was way too much. Oops. A little glazing liquid on that. Try and thin that out. I think I just need to soften this. There we go. Get one bristle off the canvas, put another one back on. That feels softer. I'm not thinking about this right now. I'm only thinking about sky color. Did Zinc White pass the vibe check? I'm trying to let it pass the vibe check and trying to not be too critical of it, because I'm seeing a lot of the sienna, the underpainting, through my sky right now, and I'm trying to be okay with that. I don't know if I am. this bristle out to all right. I think I'm happy with the colors. The clouds are going to help a lot. I do think I have it too light now. Do some glazing liquid. And then just a little bit of this yellow. I need something a little warmer, just a little warmer. Maybe a bit of the orange yellow I liked. Oh, that's way too yellow. Ooh, no, not that. Just pull that off so it doesn't influence it later. That is yellow. We don't want that. Pyrrol, cat, pyrrol, alizarin. Cadhue, pyrrol, quinac. I'm trying to give it a little bit more peach tones right here. And I'm not finding peach, I'm finding yellow. Throwing everything. I threw the Yinmin earlier. Oh, that's a nice peach. Peach. Okay. That's good for that. I have so many brushes I'm gonna have to wash. Now what I think I want to do find a good cloud brush. Like this one. And pull more zinc white. And put some clouds in. Not all of them, because some of them need the base layer here to be dry. But I can brush a few of these in. Oh, this one is shedding. This will probably need more layers. Eventually. I don't think I love this brush for this. I think I need something different. I think this brush. I'm trying to build up more of these clouds in here. This guy's gonna look way more fire than my photograph is, and that's okay. It's just gonna be way more vibrant and exciting. And I think it's because I'm using white paint, even though it's the zinc. But we're getting to a good spot where I should probably like start thinking about stepping away from it for a little bit. Okay, I think I should step away from it and let it dry. Maybe go back in with the detail brush next time. All right, let me put extra paint on the paint sheet and we'll talk about stuff. I have so many brushes to wash, and they're all giant ones. That can get washed too. Probably for the best. All right. I don't hate the zinc white. I don't hate it. We're gonna let it dry, and we're gonna see how I feel next time I paint. All right, let's talk about things that are coming up. Also gonna do roll. Thank you to my Patreon sponsors. I am getting Dan a copy of the file for the Obscura painting today. I don't know if that will be out by next week. It may be out when I get back. Because I have to get that to him, and then he has to finish up the time lapse for the Obscura piece. So my guess is it's going to be next week. Chet says, I don't hate it. That's not a ravishing endorsement. Sometimes you have to step away and like look at it with a fresh eye, because like right now I've been staring at it and I've been very close. If I step back, I think I will like it better. And sometimes it's going to be just more details in the clouds, and that the lightness of the burnt sienna popping through will bring it together. Sometimes you have to do that, and sometimes you've stared at it this close for 2 hours and you're like, God, what am I even looking at? So I'm going to step away and it will help. Sometimes it just needs a little bit of something, and I don't know what that is because I've been staring at it too close. And then I'm like, dang, this is good. So it does take a little bit sometimes with paintings. And I know it's not done because I need to do more details in the clouds, and that just may complete it. Other things that are coming up tonight, we're playing more Little Kitty Big City on Steven's channel, and it's been very fun. It's been very cute. I'm trying to think of like what we have to do, and it's like get fish, climb back up. And if you didn't know, it's Picklemas, so get yourself some pickled vegetables of some sort for stream tonight. I think Steven was supposed to pick some up when he was out. I don't know if he did. Trip people for bread. We'll be doing that in Little Kitty Big City. Get Ducky? Yeah, we do need to get Ducky. Where did I leave Ducky? I think I know where I left Ducky. If he didn't, he's got to go out for dental work. Next week, I don't know about streams. I know there will be a Tuesday stream. I don't know exactly anything more than there will be a Tuesday stream. For breakfast stream. We do want to do something on the 25th. I just don't know when. It would not be normal time because it is the holiday. So there'll be something Tuesday, and that's all I can really say. And then the Monday after, which is what, the 29th? Calendar? 29th, yes. I'm going to be playing Ghost of Yote. I'm very excited to start Ghost of Yote. So, look forward to that. I'm looking forward to that. Sappy says, finally. I know, right? More ghosts. I'm very much looking forward to that. All right, everyone. Thanks for being here. I will see you tonight for Little Kitty Big City. Bring some pickles. Definitely see you next week, Tuesday, for a breakfast stream. And I don't want to promise any more than that because I don't actually know. I hope you have a good Friday, and I will see you guys tonight for Little Kitty Big City.